PDD recently published a white paper on IP protection to discuss prospects, challenges, and the best practices in China's e-commerce industry. Today, we're very glad to have Andre Zhu, General Counsel of PDD, to get on the program and share more background as well as his thoughts about this white paper. Welcome, Andre.
Thank you, Ada, for having me here.
Thank you, Andre. So what has made PDD want to prepare this white paper? How did this project all started?
Well, I first thought about doing a white paper on online IP protection in China last year during a trip to Europe. I met with European brands, trade associations, and governments. Then I do genuinely believe that everybody we talked with have good intentions to work together. Most people at this point have come to realize that collaboration is the only way to tackle the counterfeit issue. But then a lot of people still take this piecemeal approach, which produces a lot of gaps in understanding. Now, during these meetings, I've been asked many times, so-and-so platform can do this, so why can't you do the same? Or I think you should do this because I saw the other platform is doing it now. So then I realized that we really need to have a study paper that thoroughly explains how we approach IP protection system and then anti-counterfeit issues in a very holistic manner. So this project began in the early part of this year. During the past 8 months, we really put a lot of effort into writing this paper. It not only describes our IP protection system, but also explains why we designed the system the way it is, what other practices we see by e-commerce platforms in the marketplace, and then what are said about these practices by leading practitioners in the field. We also look at what kind of challenges we face in the marketplace and what we need to do next. So these are all written in this white paper. A lot of the trade associations representatives actually said to us during these meetings that Chinese e-commerce platforms are actually leading the industry in combating counterfeits and in terms of innovations and technologies. So another goal we'd like the reason we want to do this is to share our insights and practices, and then as well as the challenges and hurdles in IP anti-counterfeits we face with other stakeholders, and hopefully that generates further constructive discussions on this very important topic.
Wow, that's a really meaningful project. And just by hearing you sharing the key, like how did it started or what inspired you, it made me really excited, wanting to read more about it. So for a reader, like what are the key takeaways of this white paper?
Well, first of all, like you said, I really strongly suggest everyone interested in PDD or IP protection to read this white paper. It's a fairly short report, easy to read, and there's really a lot of good content and current content in it. So the key takeaways, if I will, I would probably want to highlight 2 of them. Number one is maybe there really isn't a one-size-fits-all type of golden practice for all platforms. In each e-commerce ecosystem, it requires all of its participants to work together to come up with a system to fight the type of IP infringement and counterfeits within that particular system. If you look at Taobao, JD.com, Pinduoduo, TikTok, WeChat, and others, we all have very different business models. We have different merchants, different products, different customer behaviors, if you will. So collaboration, understanding, and maybe a little bit of patience are very critical to make the whole system actually work. So that's the first point. The second point is maybe it's pretty obvious that relying on the traditional notice and takedown procedure system doesn't work anymore. Because the platforms are growing bigger and bigger. Each platform covers millions of merchants, and then platform like us covers billions of products. Technology-enabled proactive enforcement measures, that has to be the direction for future e-commerce.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I believe this paper has a lot of great insights and has included a lot of great content about the best practices, but I think that's the paper. what are the bigger purpose you want to achieve through this paper, and what impact you want to bring by doing this project?
Well, thank you, Ada. What I hope what we're doing here, including like us constantly improving our IP protection system and writing this white paper to reach out to other stakeholders, all we're doing, we're trying to demonstrate our strong will and commitment to fight against counterfeits and infringements. I hope other stakeholders, by this white paper exercise, can join us in the discussions and actions to create and maintain a clean, online, safe, clean and safe online shopping environment for consumers. So that's our goal.
Wow, that's great to hear. Like you said, more needs to be done to create a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable market environment for all of us. And we hope this paper can be a great start for everyone to take actions. And thank you so much for doing this. And thank you so much for sharing your insights with me tonight.